back and forth between, a regulatory or basically admin kind of department that goes after information. It gets collected, it gets sent around either electronically and reviewed and come back. There's a lot of questions. It's usually quite a long process, and so we're definitely interested in where we can definitely make this best in class, and utilize whether it's utilizing more technology, et cetera.
Right.
Okay.
Thank you. And is that Dane who just joined? I heard a beep.
Yes, it is me, and I'm going to have to jump off early too. So I'll just be here while I can. My apologies.
That's fine, Dave. No problem at all.
So Ken, I can give a kind of next layer down, but
yes.
Do you want Dane to talk a little bit first?
Why don't you go next layer down, Lawrence, and then we'll let Gerson start by answering the questions that he feels like we should start with. But please go ahead, Lawrence.
Yeah. So Gerson, what I do is value stream maps type work. So that's actually what I'm doing with this process. So I already have developed a draft format, and it has, I would say, 8 different people that interact with the current process. It is very manual. Most of the systems that's used related to the current process of when you first get the request in till the raw materials are qualified is we use email, we use one shared drive, we use a lot of Excel, a lot of mostly emails, and we do have one system whereas it does go into at the very end for storage of information. Most of the losses that I'm seeing is around the interaction between our coordinator of the overall process along with specific functions that need information back from the supplier. Yeah. Can you all hear me?
Somewhat. Yes, can hear you well now.
Okay, all right. So the big time that is taking is getting information back from the supplier from the initial request related to those raw materials, and then the second big box of time is associated with the follow-up back to the supplier to provide detailed information that's needed. So there's a lot of time that happens there. And it's not just about the supplier. It falls back to some of our folks, too, because this is not their primary thing that they only do. They have other responsibilities, too. So you have a lot of wait time that happens in between getting information, and that information has to be reviewed, manually. Everything is manual. It has to be sent manually between the parties. So that's what kicks in the weeks and time that's required. That follow up with the supplier, follow with those specific functions within BERTS, and follow with the coordinator.
Yeah.
Got it.
Thank you, Lawrence. That's helpful. So maybe one more thing I'd say before you get to jump in. So as outlined there, what you heard, a lot of back and forth, manual process. We know from some much earlier benchmarking and just collaboration with others or talking to people that have come from other companies is our process is by no means unique, but certainly doesn't leverage either any technology today or hasn't really been looked at from a top-down clean sheet of paper. And that's really what we wanted to start with you today is, as you've had exposure to so many different RMQ processes, what does a best-in-class look like? And then as we kind of learn more about that, and yes, to Judith's point, we could do a direct comparison, maybe have you take a look at what we have today as a follow-on from this call to help us update.
Very good. Now, if you want to, you mentioned about your process. If you think adds more value to the conversation, if you want to send me, I can give you my email to send it. If you don't feel like, that's fine. I mean, I'm perfectly fine, but I'm just open that option if you do want it.
Thank you. Thank you. We'll certainly keep that in mind.
Just one question, I guess, as you're kind of explaining your best-in-class processes. If you can just kind of share, what are some of the key performance indicators or KPIs that you typically measure and monitor in this process? That'd be helpful as well.
Right. Okay, so